play with some high-speed stuff here. Unreal.
We are here in British Columbia riding the 2025 Can-Am Outlander 1000R XTP. We are going to give you 5 things we love, 5 things we hate, and then we are going to tell you who this machine is for. Let's get started. The first thing we love is this engine. It's a 999cc V-twin engine that makes 101 horsepower. That is insane for an ATV. This Rotax mill, incredibly powerful, incredibly torquey, but also smooth.
This thing is a rocket. But what's surprising is it rides pretty small.
Easy to operate. It also makes it the fastest 1000cc ATV on the market with a 0 to 60 of under 6 seconds. That's wild.
Racing a train, baby!
The second thing we love, these bumpers. These things come on the XTP. They're incredibly tough. These tow hooks can each handle 3,000 pounds. They're good tie down spots on the trailer. They're also made to yank other fools out of the muck. That is excellent. The third thing, this wheel and tire setup. This is a 14-inch beadlock with a 27-inch tire. And if you think that doesn't make a difference, trust me, it does. They also have the 850 Outlander out here on its 26-inch tire, and I can tell you that extra inch of diameter really makes it easy to get over obstacles. While we're talking rolling stock, let's get to number 4, and it's the brake system on this machine. The XTP gets 4-wheel disc brakes. That is amazing, and man, will these things bring you down from speed. If you're not careful, you hoss on these things, you're going over the handlebars. We watched a guy do it. The 850, meanwhile, gets along with 3 disc brakes. You get 2 in the front, 1 on the rear. Yeah, for most folks, that's probably enough, but hey, we don't mind having an extra little bit of stopping power. Let's get to the 5th thing we love, and it is these toe boxes. Why do I say that? They are massive. Look at this. Look at this. That's a size 11 boot down there. There's all sorts of room to move around. You can replace these grips if they wear down. They are plastic. Wouldn't mind seeing metal, but hey, that's not the end of the world. And most importantly, they keep you incredibly, incredibly clean. Look at these massive fenders. We've been ripping around in the British Columbia muck all day, and I am clean as can be because of this big toe box and all of this protection. This is really, really well thought out. Also, this suspension. Yeah, it's all dirty, but you got Fox external bypass QS3 shocks back here. That's not even the most impressive part. Can-Am did a lot of work to get the roll center a lot closer to the center of gravity on this machine, and because of that, it feels a lot more stable. You also get a front sway bar on this machine, which is kind of unusual in this class. It all adds up to a machine that is really, really stable and helps build your confidence really, really quickly. All right, let's get to the 5 things we hate, and we're gonna start with something nitpicky. There are no cup holders here. None. Where are you gonna put your cup of coffee? Where are you gonna put your bottle of water? It's got to go in one of the storage areas. There's no convenient place to put it. That's a bummer. The second thing we hate, this gauge cluster. Hate is maybe a strong word. It conveys all of the information that you need to know. It's also just, it looks a little dated. I mean, this rig is gonna cost you every bit of $17,000 by the time you get it out the door, and you're stuck with an LCD dash that looked like it got plucked out of a Can-Am from 10 years ago. Let's talk about the third thing we hate. It's the way these boxes work. Number 1, these link boxes are amazing. They keep all of your gear super clean, super dry. There's good weather stripping around them. That's awesome. They're good and secure. The problem that I run into is that you need 2 hands in order to open these things. You get it open, it wants to fall down immediately. That's tough. It seals nice. That's great. I would love to see a one-handed operation because, hey, anytime you're going to put something in here, you've got something else in your hands. It just makes sense. The 4th thing we hate, we're going to get a little picky here. This switch controls all sorts of things. It gets your reverse override, it's your starter button, and it controls your power steering select. This vehicle comes with 3 power steering modes. You got min, mid, and max. They can only be accessed with this button, and it just feels a little weird. You get control for your engine braking up here, your drive modes right here. You can hear it beeping to let me know I'm in sport mode, work mode, or normal mode, but your power steering doesn't get its own dedicated button. It feels a little bit like an afterthought. We would love to see a dedicated button, maybe a single trigger like you get for the engine braking modes over here. Finally, let's talk thing number 5, and it's gonna be this winch cable. Can-Am sticks you with a steel braided line just like it's 1972. Look, if I'm paying $17,000 for a rig like this, I want synthetic separated line. Get on it, Can-Am. So let's talk about how this machine rides. It is big. There's no mistaking that this is a monster of a machine at 50 inches wide and 1,000 pounds. However, it rides way smaller than it feels, at least until you get it airborne. Then you realize, man, you've got a lot of mass going in the air. The brakes are excellent. There's good feel both from the pedal and from the linked lever up here. Throttle response is instantaneous. You really don't feel that massive hit of the 101 horsepower until you are deep in the throttle. Drive modes really help. Work mode tames things down. Normal mode is, normal for a 101 horsepower ATV, and sport mode is movie spicy. All of that brings us to who is this machine for? Well, I think that's pretty simple. It's somebody who has a bunch of work to do, needs to tow things, needs to haul things. Maybe you're a hunter. This thing can fit 240 pounds on the back, nearly 130 pounds up front, can tow 1,850 pounds. All that is amazing. That means this thing is an absolute workhorse. It's also a ton of fun. This thing handles and rides better than any 1,000cc machine has any right to do. Can-Am really did their homework when it comes to the chassis, the suspension designs, the brakes. This thing is an absolute riot. And in a day, you're gonna find yourself sliding around on the trails and having an excellent time, or ripping up your favorite rock climb. This machine's capability truly is top notch. That means this rig is for somebody who has the cash to buy the one machine to rule them all. Most buyers can probably get along with the base level 850. It does 90% of what this XTP does. This XTP just makes everything a little bit nicer, from the suspension to the brakes to the body protection. All of that elevates this machine to a really, really nice place. That's been 5 things we love and 5 things we hate about the 2025 Can-Am Outlander 1000R XTP. If you like this video, be sure to head over to utvdriver.com. Also subscribe, like this video. We have new ones out twice a month. Be sure to check them out. We'll see you there.